big boss that's special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level. Second level gaming. Second level.
Sprint Vector very nearly killed me, and I loved every second of it. The first thing you need to know about Sprint Vector is that you know nothing about Sprint Vector. You may think from watching some online footage or the trailer that you have a handle on what to expect, but honestly, so much of this game is tactile intuition, there's no way to anticipate it. The presentation level of Sprint Vector is exceptional. Survios knew they had something special here and really threw on the bells and whistles. The introduction sequence with the weird reality show setup is a spectacle to behold. I loved every second of world building this game had to offer.
To the Sprint Vector Championship Intergalactica!
The characters are well made, but perhaps deserve bigger backstories. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the game's initial moments are about how to play the game, and thank God, because it's hard to get a grasp on how to fluidly navigate these tracks. There is actually 3 different levels of tutorial, each helping you develop more and more complicated skills for the challenges ahead. Not to mention an entire play area purely to get a handle on the power-ups. Oh yeah, there's power-ups. And jumping, and double jumping, and drifting, and climbing, and flying, and braking, and shooting obstacles, and monkey bars, and well, you get the idea. So whilst I am supremely grateful to the developers for the excellent tutorial videos and courses, I think perhaps a lot of time and effort was focused on that, as opposed to fleshing out the universe itself. I am hopeful, though, that the characters will become more developed over time, much like they were with Overwatch. I did briefly start to grow fond of the commentators though, since their personalities were shining through on every track. That wasn't until I started to hear repeated commentary. Not small things either, but actual 2-person conversational dialogue. I do really appreciate the addition of the play-by-play though, including the subtle hints at my own skill level. Or lack thereof.
It's a great day for racing, folks, and even though they risk pain and shame, our racers are looking ready to rock.
It's important to keep a positive attitude, Mr. Entertainment, before the course breaks their spirits, I mean.
I think the only times I didn't come last against the AI were when for some reason they got stuck on the environment and just kind of froze in spot. Honestly, starting out, knowing my own fitness level, I was a little concerned. You actually have to move quite a bit in this game. The mistake many newcomers, myself included, will make though, is moving too much. The thing about Sprint Vector, and this is a very smart move on the developer's behalf, is that it's entirely possible to play with minimal effort, but good technique. Gracefully, this is something that you can get with practice. I would say I started to feel confident in my abilities around the hour-and-a-half mark. Honestly, it wasn't really until I went online to challenge some randos that I even noticed. I had been playing the main game, moving up the levels that were becoming more and more challenging as time went on, and I was getting more and more tired. It was showing in my abilities. I can't be this bad, can I? Well, as it turns out, yes and no. After a brief break, I popped online and found out that everyone is pretty much in the same situation. I had a blast testing my skills against others in the same out-of-shape boat. The amount of heavy breathing after each race was over was frankly hilarious. Maybe I got lucky, but the group I played with was friendly, everyone was wishing their opponents good luck at the beginning of the race and congratulating them after. I had a great time, and honestly, this has been my favorite online VR experience since I got the headset. The courses are themed and varied enough to keep it interesting, although I still wish there were more variety where possible. Luckily, this is something that can be easily added with future DLC, and I really hope the developers continue to support this game post-launch, because there is so much good here, so much potential. It definitely feels like it could become an e-sport, or a V-sport, or whatever we're calling it nowadays. There's a moment during your first playthrough that it will hit you. Mid-track, suddenly everything clicks.
We're on the stream! And with that, we can finally call this...
Mine happened during my online session. I had been struggling a little with maintaining momentum and doing a double jump Superman combo, when suddenly I adjusted my technique a little with the jumping, doing a shorter, swifter, and more obvious downward motion. This enabled me to finally pull the jump off with ease, and helped me with the menagerie of track obstacle difficulties I had previously been facing. Almost the second after I landed that second double jump Superman combo, I felt fucking great.
Sure is nice to have a first-person broadcast available this season with a Daxscape camera.
And thanks to our partnership with the Dimensional Crossover Network, those Daxscape broadcasts are available in alternate realities.
This was the moment a smile crept over me, and I realized the game had an X factor I had not anticipated. There is something very special here, something very unique. It must be the combination of depth, use of technique, race difficulty, character models, presentation, and downright fun. All in a happy, highly immersive bundle.
Ruling contestant here, folks. You know, I've always said that silence is more powerful than words, and our proud contestant here is living proof.
Servios really knocked this one out of the park. I'd love to see a bit of character development and some more tracks in the future. Maybe a way to chill out those commentators a little bit, but honestly, this is one of the best games on the PSVR right now, and it easily could have been $40 or even $50 at launch. Instead, it was $21, on sale from its usual full price of $30. An absolute steal. I highly recommend picking up Sprint Vector to try it for yourself. Honestly, it really does have to be experienced firsthand and given a decent amount of time before you can truly appreciate the beauty of what lies below the surface paint here. But once you get it, you won't regret it. Thanks for watching.
We're allowed to use healthy and space drops in the same sentence anymore. Oh, almost, folks. Maybe next time they'll try a little harder.
Ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level.